It is, Mark, top to bottom. Doesn't matter if you're a 42-year-old veteran or a 22, 23-year-old rookie. We've got a lot of talented drivers in this field. And week in, week out, we've seen it so far this season with so many different winners. What is it, 7 out of 9 races now? We've had different winners. It is tough to find your way to victory lane. And guys like Scott Dixon, Helio Castroneves still haven't, tasted the thrill of victory yet this year.
Watching the only repeat winner, a good view of the in-car cam from Graham Rahal working his way around the course. He's currently 4th quick in timing and scoring while we continue to watch Graham and others go through the paces in this 3rd and final practice session. Let's go back to pit road, check in with Ryan Marine.
Pit road, a busy place right now, as is typical in these practice sessions. Cars venturing out onto the racetrack to get a taste for the racetrack, a sense for the setup, and then come in to make some adjustments. In front of me, Marco Andretti's crew hard at work in the back of that car. James Hinchcliffe's crew working on the front of that race car and now reattaching some of the front cowling. But further up pit lane and at pit in is an interested spectator and a member of racing royalty, A.J. Foyt, here on site, of note because he was over in France last week for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, celebrating his 50th anniversary of his win at that historic race, co-driving with Dan Gurney. And a rare trip overseas for Supertex, took in the race over in France, and really an impressive performance going back historically for A.J., and a chance for him to revel in a bit of history back in Le Mans. Back to the booth.
Don't want to do anything to slight Will Power. Of course, he was the winner of the Grand Prix of Indianapolis and then won at Texas Motor Speedway. So we've had a couple of repeat winners, but the point is still a fair amount of parity here, and that explains how tight this championship battle is. Back to pit road and Dave first.
Yeah, Ryan brought up a good point. Usually in these practice sessions, you don't see too many wholesale changes towards the rear of these machines, but that's exactly what's going on. In my end of pit road, we see the 83 of Charlie Kimball. Those guys made some spring adjustments towards the rear of those machines, and as did the 98 of Alexander Rossi, Tony Kanaan, Esteban Gutierrez. Busy time up here on pit road, but again, with that time ticking. By the way, still no sign of the Max Chilton machine yet.
And interesting to note, if we can follow up on that conversation that Dave had with Max Chilton, he expressed some concern about missing this session. Now, it's funny, he said he only needed about 6 minutes to get done really what he needs to get done, which is good, but I thought those comments were very interesting. You know that there's a checklist, as we've talked about before, a process they want to go through over the course of this weekend, but it makes sense, quite frankly, that they would look at this session as the most important session, considering you're getting ready to go qualifying and how important that is at a place